Today we're bullshitting around with the home server. I'm bored, so I'm taking you through it with me. You should build a home server, even a simple one, if you want to stop paying for or relying on streaming services. Music, movies, TV shows, cloud storage of photos and videos and your files for work, whatever. And just because it's kind of fucking fun. So yeah, we're gonna tinker around. If you're bored too, follow along. All right, just give you an idea what the heck I gotta get through. It's not too bad, but we gotta go through that hole. And I think I have to drill it more, which wouldn't be a big issue, except there's already cables through it. So it could get caught up in the drill bit. So you gotta be real careful. And it's also very awkward just bending over back there because there's a big desk here and you can't do it from down low, so. But hey, power tools, woo! So the reason I'm doing it today, one, because I'm bored, two, because I'm moving this down into the basement. This isn't actually plugged into this monitor. This isn't plugged into any display. I access it remotely through a laptop or whatever the hell you want because it's more convenient. So first, that's pretty much all unplugged now. And we gotta clean up the studio because we need more space. So this is actually the first computer I built over 12 years ago. It's gone through a few upgrades, but now 4 years ago, I got violently high for the entirety of summer and spent every single night ripping DVDs and building this. And that was my COVID project, one of my COVID projects. And it was fun. And I mean, come on, look at that. It's freaking cool. If you like hardware, that's freaking cool. So we're gonna clean this up. Oh, it's pretty clean. We're gonna move it downstairs. We're gonna route the cables and power through the floor, which is actually the ceiling of the downstairs room. And we'll talk through kind of how this is set up, just roughly. There's a lot to it, but give you some idea. First and foremost, it is just a computer. Like, you call it a server, but it's just a computer. You know, it's like when people say the cloud, it's up in the cloud. Well, the cloud is just someone else's computer, so don't get caught up in the terminology. It's all the same bits and bobs in there. So you got the close-up. Next, I gotta put that cable through the corner, which is gonna be a pain in the ass. So I'm gonna do that off camera. All right. This is the downstairs closet. It's also like a bedroom that I sleep in sometimes. I don't know, I'm a guy, I don't need a closet and I sleep on the couch half the time. So this is the hole we came through. It's down, there's other cords from previous adventures down here. I had this whole room set up as like a VR thing in the past with a drop through the ceiling so you could have like a centralized cable. But anyway, we got her down. We're just gonna do extension cord for now that's plugged into the UPS. We'll clean it up later. Doesn't have to be super pretty at first, just getting her here, getting her functional. And then once it's up and running, we'll route it. But that's the nice thing about servers is once they're running, you just kind of leave them on. And if you really need to tweak them, you know, that's where the remote access stuff comes in. You just tap into it from your laptop and you can just, you know, see the screen and control the mouse and stuff through that. If you really need to, you can go plug a keyboard and mouse and monitor into it, but you shouldn't have to. It should be pretty reliable and just kind of fade into the background. But it's good to have it in the basement. One, because, you know, the higher floors, they're gonna just shake more. Like if people walk around, the floor does shake. And if something's up on a desk, that'll shake. And you don't want your hard drives moving around when they're being used, because that's how you break shit. So put it in the basement. It's also cooler, it's quieter, it's out of the way. It just kind of works magically. So yeah. So in terms of getting stuff on the server, we'll cover that next. This is just kind of moving shit around. This is basic simple stuff. But we'll get into how you actually set it up in a sec. And some sources, what goes into it, and how complex you can make it if you want. So, all right. It is just barely gonna fit. It's a little tighter than I like. That's what he said. don't know why you would say that, but that's what he said. But I think it'll work for now. Come on, you fucker. Oh, well, that'll help. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah. It's not too much torque on it, but it's, yeah, whatever. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. And clean it up later. Make it look fancy. Not gonna output a lot of heat. We're chilling. And now we power it on. If I could find, there it is. I'm trying to find it. There is, I didn't call it out. Can you see it from there? See that little gold thing in the bottom left? It plugs into an HDMI port, and it's basically a dummy module so that your operating system, Windows or whatever, thinks it's plugged into a display. Just so it can say, hey, I'm gonna feed you display info. And that's how you can connect remotely to it from, like, I use something called Parsec, but there's built-in ways to do it, but that's how I connect to it remotely and get it to feed me different resolutions, is it has that little dummy plug in there to say, hey, I need this resolution, just like you'd plug an HDMI into a monitor. It's not plugged into a monitor, so you need something there to trick it. So that's what that's for, but let's give it a sec to properly power. Yeah. We fucking chillin'. Nice. Now we get to actually dive into the software side of it, which I'll show you some of it. Not all of it, but at least we got it moved down here. We can go up to the studio now and see what new space we have with the desk. And less vibrations, because that was on desk before, which again isn't good because it wibbles and wobbles. So it's oh yeah, gotta clean some of the dust. But yeah, now we're good. By the way, pro tip: you ever have your computer back against a wall? Print off a picture of the rear I/O panel and put it behind it, so that you don't have to reach around and feel shit out like you're trying to undo a friggin' bra or something. Like, just there's all my ports. You gotta flip it in your brain, be like, okay, it's reverse of that, but it helps. Plus it looks like there's a computer built in your wall, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we'll, let's see. Let's give it a try. Hang on. I'm gonna put you over here. Thank you. All right. Victory. All right. Ended up fishing an extension cord from down there up to here because this is an uninterruptible power supply. Its purpose is it has a bunch of batteries in it. It provides power in the event of any sort of power loss. How much power it provides or how long it does depends on the power being drawn. For something like a home server running, 1 or 2 simple streams, you're gonna be able to get, 30 to 90 minutes depending on the size of UPS. But yeah, so if anything happens, it's just mainly to ensure that your system can have a safe shutdown and doesn't, dramatically lose power. But it also means you can run your server even when the power's out, because most power outages only last a couple hours. So it also gives you a chance to charge up all your goods. So you have battery banks, if I could fucking see. There we go. And you can hook anything into this. So I have the Plex, well, we're gonna get into Plex later. I have the server hooked up to it. I also have a bunch of monitors and other computers, and more importantly, I have another UPS, uninterruptible power supply, that's the abbreviation, hooked up to my router and my modem. So if you lose power, usually you lose internet connection, but if you have a UPS hooked into your router and modem, you don't. Now, if your internet service provider, your ISP, goes down, at their level, sure, then you might not have internet because they're not serving it, but you can still have your local internet at your house because your router still provides a network to your home. And that's the network that this home server can plug into. So as long as you still have power to that, which we do because of this guy here and a couple others, I can still go turn on my TV or my tablet or whatever and, you know, play some music or watch some videos while the power's out, or just, you know, if you have kids, you can put something on for them to watch, or not watch. I don't know. Do a story time. Do it. If you don't want to have digital devices during a power outage, do candles and scary stories, right? But it puts that power in your hands, and gives you a little bit of redundancy, a little durability to your network, to your power structure, all that stuff. So anyway, little tangent, but got it plugged in. We're gonna go downstairs now and hook that into we're gonna bring the server down and hook it into that and just talk through some more stuff, and I don't know, just keep tinkering. Cord secured. Now I got to put it back up through there again. All right, well, contortionist Colton, here we go. All right, mild setback. I grabbed an extension cord without a grounding prong. So, anyway, so we're gonna go to the garage and grab one with one. Join me. Along the way, we have cats, judgmental cats, happy cats, and a dog somewhere. Oh. Hey. There's a really fucking long cord though. Whatever. It'll be in the ceiling. Oh, it's plugged in. Well, I'll deal with this and we'll catch up later. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. I threw a network cable down here too, because we're gonna need that. And that's all we're gonna need. So we're gonna try and fit that there. It's gonna be very tight. I'm not worried about airflow because it's not a lot of power being drawn, but I am worried about bending the cable that sticks into the back of it. So let's take a peek. This is hard to do. Yeah, that'll work. I think. Telephoto? Yeah. Kind of telephoto? Alright. He's already showed up. That was quick. This is Parsec. This is macOS behind there. It's just my laptop, but then this is Parsec. And then you can full screen that. I would be surprised if it worked right away. That would be... Yeah, I don't think it's gonna. Let's... Go away. Go away. Hey. I suppose Windows is booting and Windows sucks, so it's going to take forever, but yeah. We are currently looking at the computer downstairs through my laptop up here using nothing but the network, which is convenient. Windows is slow as fucking shit. God, Windows sucks. Use Mac OS or Linux. Linux is a pain in the ass. Use Mac. God. I know a lot of shit about Windows, but holy shit does it suck. Anyway, we'll let that boot up. Go into a little bit of the server itself. You can actually see the media, some of the config, as much as I can without, you know, giving away security secrets. But, yeah. Hopefully this isn't too boring. Oh, I was bored. This is fun to me, kinda. I think I used my swear word quota for the week trying to get that stupid cord through the floor, but it's there now, so we'll work with it. All right. Got her up on a local display because Windows needs 3 or 4 reboots to reset its graphics driver or something. So we got it on there. So theoretically, we can unplug that, put our dongle back in, and it'll work. But God, so much goddamn babysitting. You'd think for a billion, trillion, whatever the fuck company they are, they'd put some effort into making quality, right? No, they don't. They don't. They're an American company. They don't do quality. They do speed, maybe. Well, we've reached the point in the project where all the remaining problems are random tomfoolery because Windows and Microsoft and most American software and products are built by the lowest bidder that are meant to create problems they can sell solutions to. So when that happens, we grab a little more to drink, we turn the music up louder, and we rinse and repeat the same steps 3 or 4 times until it just magically fucking works. AKA hit it with a hammer. So that's where we're at. It always works out, but that's what you gotta do sometimes. Nope, sure enough, hitting it with a hammer worked like usual, so we're good. We got her up remotely. I'll just leave that there, because why not? I mean, who doesn't want to walk into their bedroom and have a fucking computer in the closet? That's pretty cool. We're gonna scoot it back in. Hopefully gently. Oh, fuck, this shit keeps falling back. It ain't a real tech project if there ain't a little bit of jank. But now we're chilling. Totally wireless. Walk around with this bitch. Oh. What's up, Pazzy? You wanna come up? Alright. I think well, can I do something? I could probably do something here. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too small. The music's loud down here. We're gonna go upstairs and show you this. All right. We took some bashes with the digital hammer, but we got her. Now we can see what we were doing. I mean, what we were doing was moving a fucking thing downstairs, but I'm using it as an opportunity to explain deeper what I did. And what I did was, let's make this brighter. This is a home server. So I made this 4 or 5 years ago as a COVID project. It's basically takes the problem of, hey, there's all these corporations out there that want to turn everything into a subscription service, whether it's streaming your music and your movies and your TVs, or saving copies of your photos and your work files, and I don't know, whatever. It's a growing list of things. But it says, hey, fuck you, it's my shit, I should be able to use it how I want. So that's the spiteful reason for it. And the fun reason for it is you get to tinker around with computers. So here I am. This is just a MacBook, but it is through the network hooked into the server downstairs that we set up earlier. And I'm accessing that via a software called Parsec, which cool. Here's Windows. Within Windows, there's a software called Plex, and it's not just Windows, it's Linux, it's Mac, whatever. Plex is a home media server software that just white gloves it for you. You know, it presents it nicer, it's got a good UI, it makes a lot of things easier. You could do all this technically through the command line and get all, 80s hacker man on it and get a lot of the same effect, but we don't have to do that. So this is Plex. I mean, I've got my films, my music, I've got music videos on here off of YouTube. You just, download the fucking video and put it on there. TV series, concerts, whatever you want, man. I mean, these are mine. They're local files. They're on a hard drive in my ownership. I have copies of these via disc downstairs that I ripped from the Blu-rays or the DVDs or whatever. They say it's licenses that you're buying when you buy a movie. Fuck that. No. You're buying the movie, you own it. Do whatever the fuck you want with it. I shouldn't have to legally go grab a disc and put it in a DVD drive to watch it upstairs versus downstairs or something like that. Or on my phone or at a friend's. If I own it on disc or bought it, I should be able to fucking use it. That's the whole point. So that's what we've done. And you can get really nerdy with it if you want, kind of like I do. I'm a huge, I want high resolution and good sound quality and stuff so that you can have like a home theater thing. But there's also just the idea of any bit of data, whether it's like, this is all media, but information that is put out there by the public, by our fellow citizens. We almost have a duty, especially like educational data from like YouTube, we almost have a duty to pull that down and keep a copy of it in our stead, so that as we go careen down this path of censorship from those in power saying, nope, that's too sexual, or that's too XYZ, they're going to try and get rid of it. It's our duty to keep a copy of actual history of what happened, so that the victor, whether they're good or bad, doesn't try to rewrite it. So anyway, that's part of it. Now, disclaimer, it would be terrible. You shouldn't do it. If you don't own a movie or a piece of music or whatever, you should definitely not go download that from somewhere else, right? For free. You wouldn't steal a car, right? That would hurt these corporations that are just living on the street, and their CEOs that just they can barely make a meal because they have no money. That would be terrible. Don't do that. Well, make sure you only host on your server videos and movies and music that you own. Anyway, yeah, this is the project. It's kind of nerdy, but I'm bored. It's Friday. A little whiskey. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do with this, but let me show you one cool thing before I go, related to this, but separate. This will knock your socks off. Hang on. All right. This is a USB flash drive. It's 128 gigs, maybe. It might be 64 gigs. I don't remember. It's tiny. There's an equivalent, if not greater, amount of storage on your cell phone. This flash drive is the entirety of Wikipedia as of March 2025, including the images, all of it, including the software to run it, provided you plug it into any computer with a USB-A port or whatever that was made in the last, 30 years. All of Wikipedia, all of human knowledge distilled down into text and image format, hyperlinked to itself. Sure, some people will say, oh, it's Wikipedia, anyone can write there. Look into how Wikipedia works. You should never take any single source as God-given truth, including God. Wikipedia is made of people that have a desire for truth. It is peer-reviewed by numerous people. It can be contained on a single flash drive via open source software. You can take this flash drive and make copies of it legally and share it with people. If everything gets nuked, if everything falls apart, and short of an EMP blowing up and shorting out every single piece of electronic equipment this side of the Earth's crust, you could take this USB and plug it into a computer and have all of human knowledge at your fingertips. We recently entered a world where AI is determining a lot of things that happen. AI, take it from me, you should never take anything from a single source, but let me tell you now, I'm a very tech-savvy person. AI is nothing more than an engine to aggregate large amounts of data and give you an average answer. That's all it is. It says, hey, there's 1,000 answers. They all roughly approximate to this. Here's an exception, here's another exception, but roughly here's what they are. That's great. But it's a great starting point, but not enough people are curious or have the critical thinking skills to dive deeper. Take the info that it gives you and corroborate it with multiple sources. Vet it. That's why it's important to have raw data, whether it's a Wikipedia entry, whether it's a screenshot of something that happened in reality that later got erased by the social media overlords or the government or whatever. It is our responsibility as citizens, as humans, to document what happens so that future generations can learn from it. And not the clean version of history that the victors write, be those victors good or bad, but history as it happened, authentically, even if it's painful. This USB drive that contains essentially all of human knowledge is incredibly powerful. You should go get one. Type into Google, download Wikipedia to USB drive. That's it. It is so stupidly fucking simple. And you can have it at your fingertips. There's so much about the tech sphere that is stupidly fucking simple, but people are intimidated to try because they've always associated technology and any sort of technical endeavor with smart people or nerds or people more interested. No, you need to be interested. We live in a time where powerful people are trying to rewrite history. They're trying to obfuscate truth. They're trying to manipulate the masses through news media, social media. Human weakness is being exploited by these people. It's imperative that we keep some sort of empirical, objective truth of what happened through images, through text, especially as we enter this AI age where images, videos, text, the things that we have typically up until now relied upon as an authentic, authoritative source of truth, it's not going to be truth. Show a decent AI video to anyone over the age of 50, I'll bet you 90% of them, yeah, statistics are made up, I'll bet you 90% of them think it's fucking true right away. We can't trust video, we can't trust photos. You can trust, as long as it's around, things that were created before those came to the forefront. We have to keep those close to us. We have to keep them as sacred, and we have to share them with future generations. We have to share them with past generations that are too old to understand fake from real. We have to share with our own generation who decided to invest themselves in blue-collar work, and they didn't have time or privilege to look into how technology works and how AI is made, but they're still good people and deserve to know the truth. You deserve to give it to them. Don't let these fascist fucking cunts dictate the future. Control it. Data, knowledge is power. You can have it in your fingertips. You can have it on a home server. You can instill it in your brain. America's around, but we have to revitalize it. Be the change you want to see.